Bungie cuts 220 staff, despite Destiny 2, the final shape having success.
Damon here, and in today's gaming news,
Hey, Damon.
Bungie, a beloved indie game, struggles to celebrate its anniversary, and Xbox reveals a flashy new controller. This is your daily fix.
The flashy new controller, anything to do with Deadpool x Wolverine? By the way, awesome movie, amazing. The fix. I was too
Destiny
late.
developer Bungie has announced significant cuts at the studio that have seen 220 people, or 70% of the studio's workforce, let go. The cuts affect every level of the company, including most of the Sony-owned studio's executive and senior leader roles. Bungie boss Pete Parsons said in a post, "Today is a difficult and painful day. Departing staff will be offered a reportedly generous exit package that includes severance, bonus, and health coverage." Parsons blamed the cuts on the rising costs of development, industry shifts, and enduring economic conditions. Because of this, Parsons insisted, Bungie has had to make substantial changes to its cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on live service looter shooter Destiny and the upcoming Marathon. The cuts come after what was seen as the successful launch of Destiny 2 expansion, The Final Shape. Parsons acknowledged this in his post, but said they were necessary, quote, to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. Parsons also said the cuts were made after exhausting all other mitigation options, although he failed to share what those options were. The 220 layoffs come alongside the integration of an additional 155 roles, or 12% of Bungie's workforce, into parent company Sony Interactive Entertainment over the next few quarters. Parsons said this move saves, quote, a great deal of talent that would otherwise have been affected by the reduction in force.
That's crazy.
That if Sony hadn't taken on these 155 roles, 375 staff would have lost their jobs today, and that the actual reduction in Bungie's workforce over time will be substantially more than 17%. Meanwhile, Bungie is working with PlayStation Studios to spin out one of its incubation projects, an action game set in a brand new sci-fi universe, to form a new studio under the PlayStation banner. Parsons did not say how many staff will leave Bungie to form this new studio, but did admit this will be a time of tremendous change for our studio.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if they're working with PlayStation specifically.
The studio had been running in the red after its financial safety margins were exceeded following delays to both The Final Shape and Marathon, and a rapid expansion that stretched themselves too thin. Over 850 staff remain at Bungie.
850 staff.
Parsons said. Moving on, Braid developer Jonathan Blow has said the recently released anniversary edition of the indie puzzle platformer has sold horribly, and indicated he is now struggling to employ staff full-time. Blow, who also created The Witness, was
He said sold like dog shit.
Game development after Braid enjoyed enormous success on Xbox Live Arcade in 2008. It has since become thought of as one of the greatest indie games of all time, with a number of perfect reviews.
I've never even heard of Braid.
16 years later, in May this year, Blow released a remaster with fully repainted artwork, new puzzles, and in-depth commentary across PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStations 4 and 5, Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, Android and iOS, with the mobile version released by Netflix to those with an active subscription. The anniversary edition was announced during Sony's State of Play event in August 2020, so it did take a while to cross the finish line. Blow hasn't confirmed a sales figure, but the picture he paints here is clear. Braid Anniversary Edition has flopped. In a live stream dated June 17th, Blow said Braid Anniversary Edition had sold horribly. More specifically, he said, it has sold like dog shit compared to what we need to make for the company to survive. So the future is uncertain, let's put it that way. Then on July 21st, Blow was asked again about sales. No, they've been terrible, he replied. Utterly terrible.
Damn.
The following day, Blow said releasing Braid Anniversary Edition on so many platforms, quote, made a difference, but the problem is most of those platformers are dead now.
Holy crap.
Steam is easily still our biggest platform. There would have been something to be said for just not porting to half these platforms. It's a really interesting thing that we did. We did commentary in a way that nobody's ever done it, at a much more thorough level than anybody's ever done it. And
he sounds pissed.
That what you did was a good thing, even if the world doesn't really acknowledge it. And this is one of those cases, I think. Then in a stream on July 27th, Blow once again addressed the sales, but this time cast doubt on his company's ability to employ staff. Responding to a question on how many people at his company were working full-time, Blow said, none, because we can't afford to pay anyone because the sales are bad.
Damn.
The whole game industry is having a hard time. Now, it is true that Blow didn't bring Braid Anniversary Edition to any cons like PAX to let gamers get their hands on it ahead of release, nor did he do any promotion on podcasts or gaming YouTube channels.
Yeah, and this is the first I've heard of this game.
For a Braid remaster in the first place, with the original perfectly playable still all these years later. We here at IGN didn't even review the Anniversary Edition because it isn't that dissimilar from the original, which we gave an 8.5 way back when. I think it's also worth noting that Blow Studio has only released 2 games in 16 years, Braid and The Witness. And finally today, Microsoft has revealed a
new controller.
Xbox controller
it's
that
transparent.
memories of the OG Xbox era, the Sky Cipher Special Edition. It's available to pre-order now
Sky
at the
Cipher.
Microsoft Store for $70 with a release date of August 13th. Daniel Ruiz, Senior Marketing Manager, Xbox Accessories, said the Sky Cipher features a transparent blue design, quote,
looks alright,
ornamented by metallic features and silver interior parts that shine through from inside, exuding an aura of sophistication and futuristic appeal.
I wouldn't go
Leaning
that
into the
far.
nostalgia for console generations gone by, Microsoft's video promoting the new
Oh,
transparent
that's pretty
controller
cool, yeah.
begins with the OG Xbox boot up animation.
Yeah, I've
Microsoft
seen
has
that.
a long history of releasing custom and specially designed Xbox controllers, although in recent years it has faced
Looks
criticism
alright.
for locking some of the more eye-catching peripherals behind social media competitions. For example, recent Deadpool and Wolverine controllers, released to coincide with the launch of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, are only available to competition winners, even though Xbox could have sold a boatload of them,
Oh, yeah.
which you would think could help Microsoft's gaming hardware revenue problems.
Absolutely.
They're down 42%. And that is your Daily Fix for Wednesday, July 31st. Now that you're caught up on the news, check out the biggest game releases coming in
Pretty
August.
big
I'm David
fix.
Hatfield, and for all your video game news, stay tuned to IGN.
Thanks. And me for reacting to it with you. Can't believe Bungie had to lay off so many people. I feel bad about that Braid remake, and that controller looks pretty good. However, I probably won't get one. Looks expensive. You know what I'm saying?